right, Journey. Come on, let's go. We got work to do. There you go. All right, guys. Well, welcome back to another vlog. Didn't get to do any filming this weekend simply because I was working on the house. As you can see, it's coming together. I'm working on the exterior right now, putting up all that cedar lapping gap is what it's called. Still got to do the side of the house and the back and the other side. So there's still a lot to do, but so today's Monday and I'm getting out there and I'm going to update you guys a little bit on the food plots, specifically more so probably the clover ones, because we're going to be doing a little bit of spraying today. Show you guys how to maintain your food plots with spraying and controlling some of those weeds, because we have brush hogged them a few times and we've even mowed some of them. So now we're to the point where we got some grasses coming in. I'll show you guys all about it, but I gotta get the ATV because I don't feel like walking back there with all that gear. Do you, Journey? That's gonna be Journey's dog fence soon right there. That's really super exciting. We got all the corner posts laid out and soon to put up some chain link fence. So a lot of projects going on. So before we head out to the food plots, I'm going to go ahead and mix up some spray. One of the most commonly asked questions is, Steve, what do you spray your food plots with? More specifically, what do you spray your Eagle Seed Roundup Ready soybeans with? And I spray with glyphosate. This is kind of the off-brand of Roundup. This is what I suggest to you guys all the time. This is what I'm telling you guys about. It's Groundworks. I believe I picked this up at Tractor Supply. It's just a lot cheaper and it's the exact same stuff. I get the super grass or the super weed and grass killer because it's a little bit higher concentration, and so it's going to go a little bit further, but for a lot better price you can get this. Now compared to Roundup, you don't see the yellow right away within like the next day or anything, but it is going to kill it. It's effective. I think it's rained fast in just a matter of hours. So even though you might not see it yellowing up or dying, I promise if you sprayed it, it's going to die. But I'm going to go ahead and mix this. This is for the Eagle Seed soybeans. I'm going to go ahead and spray them first because glyphosate's what I had in the sprayer, as you can see right there last. And then I'll spray for the clover plots. But then I'll come back before I spray for them and I'll clean that out real good with Dawn dish soap so we don't get any cross-contamination there. Now this wall looks a little different than the last time you saw it. It used to look just like that wall. So the house is coming together. Got a nice little faucet there. Look how fancy that is, and water comes out. And there we go. Oh, and say bye-bye to the toilet. It will no longer be parked outside the house. I've already pre-measured, so just go ahead and pour it in. So we made it to some of the more northern food plots here on the hunting grounds. As you can see, you got a nice, beautiful redneck buck palace right there behind me. Beautiful clover food plots here. And then if you circle on around, circling all the way down on the side of that, we got some Eagle Seed soybeans. We got some Eagle Seed soybeans all back around through here. And then again, circling back down around the edge of the field there. And then I did take some of the summer blend mix and kind of cross-diagonal planted with a no-till drill in a few spots in there. So there's only like 3 rows across those soybeans, but it's going to be kind of cool to see what comes up with that. The reason I did that is because it got sunflowers in it. We have sunflowers in that mix at the front of the property, and doves have already been hitting on it really hard. And so I figured, why not have a dove hunt out here this year on the hunting grounds for the first time ever? Get them using back here and up there, so it's going to increase the flight patterns and hopefully make the doves a little bit more huntable here. Alright, so the clover is looking really, really good. It's a little taller than I would like it to be because I have reseeded it just so it comes in thicker, and if it was shorter, it would just come in a whole lot thicker. But we are finally to our warmer days. We've had a really kind of mild spring and a very wet spring, so we're actually above average, I believe, on the rainfall. But now we're back into, let's go 5 to 7 days without any kind of rain, and we're going to be hitting the 90-degree temperature mark. So I do not suggest mowing your clover, brush hogging it, or anything like that unless it's like right after rain or right before a guaranteed rain. That way you don't stress your clover too much. But as you can see, we have some grasses coming in. I brush hogged this field twice now, and it's looking really, really good. But these right here, this orchard grass, is some of the toughest grass that I've had to kill out of my food plots, and it can take over very, very quickly and shade out a lot of your clover. And so since I don't want to get in here and brush hog it or mow it, what I'm going to do is I actually have a herbicide that I'll show you guys right before I spray it, and I'm going to come in here and it's going to knock out majority of the grasses. It's not for broadleafs, and it's what I used last year and got it to work really, really well in my plots. So I'm going to come in here with the backpack sprayer, because as you can tell, some of this food plot doesn't have any grass in it whatsoever. So I'm going to come through and select spray some of the grasses, let the grasses kill out, and then after the rains, these grasses will already be dead. I can come in and brush hog it, and then when it starts coming back in, I don't have to worry anymore about the grasses kind of coming back, hopefully for the most part, if everything goes according to plan. So now I'll quickly update you here on the Eagle Seed soybean food plot. As you know, we use the old no-till drill, and the frustrating thing about that, it's just worn out. It needs a lot of pieces replaced, and apparently they have a lot of those pieces. So maybe before we do our fall planting, I'll get with the farmer and tell him I'll replace all the parts if he would just give me the parts, because as you can tell, there's areas out here that are just really, really well planted and coming in great, and then there's bare spots. So it's just really hard to calibrate it because it is so worn out. And so what I do is I plant it a little heavy and hopefully go back and I cover a majority of the spots where it didn't drop very well. This is the area of the food plot last year that we had in Eagle Seed soybeans. And as you can tell, quickly came through, sprayed some Roundup, drilled it in, looks great. Now I expanded the plot a little bit because even this 10 to 15 yards difference is going to give us a lot more Eagle Seed soybeans in this food plot, but you can tell that was filled last year. So the grass is starting to come in pretty dang good. And the nice thing about the Roundup Ready soybeans from Eagle Seed is I'm going to go in, I'm going to hit this with glyphosate, and it's going to kill out those grasses. The soybeans are going to keep coming up without any competition, and it's going to look great. And then next year, it's going to look a lot like this and be easy planting. It is like probably 90 something today. It is getting warm. This weekend's going to be even warmer, but I'm going to go show you real quick the clover plots in the front part of the property and the food plots that we roll planted and everything else real quick. You ready to get in there, Journey? Cool. Here we go, one food plot to another. We are in the front clover plot. This is the clover plot that I'm really babying right now at the moment. Deer just hit it so hard this last year. The loggers had come in here and they had used a lot of this as like a little traffic route. And so trying to reestablish this clover plot because there's some bare spots out in here. It's not real thick. I've reseeded it. I've brush hogged it once. As you can tell, there's a few spots of grass that I'll probably come in and touch on just a little bit to try to eliminate the competition. But this food plot is looking awesome. This is another clover plot by Eagle Seed. As you can tell, there's a lot of white clover actually coming up in here, a lot of blooms and stuff, and I would like to mow it at this point, but once again, without rain in the near forecast, I'm going to go ahead and just stay off there. But there's not very much grass in here whatsoever. There's a little bit right there, a little bit there, so just kind of here and there and everywhere, it's not too bad. So going across the driveway, we've got the redneck soft side blind right there behind me. This is the area that you guys saw me on the video that everybody has been asking about. This is the rolled food plot where we rolled planted, and I don't know if that's what it's called, but seeing that I've never really seen it done before, that's what we're going to call it. We're going to call it roll planting. And And what I did here is I actually roll planted all this, but being that it's right in front of the soft side back here, I wanted to make sure that it was going to come up, because it was all experimental. I didn't know how it was going to come up, so I roll seeded this whole food plot, and then when I had the no-till drill, I went ahead and came back in. So it is a little bit thick, but the deer are doing a really good job on thinning it out. So it's got, this is the summer blend by Eagle Seed. It's got buckwheat, it's got cowpea, soybean, and sunflower. So you're starting to see that here and there and a little bit everywhere. I like always having something to compare to. So this food plot technically was rolled, but then I went over it with the no-till drill, so we're not going to qualify it as a rolled food plot. But half the food plot I left just rolled planted so I could compare it, and I want to show you guys the result of that, to show you guys if this truly works or not. So I'll let you be the judge, but it looks like the roll planting method that I did here on the hunting grounds actually works. It had really easy soil seed contact. I waited till a huge rain. Right after that huge rain, I came in, spread the seed, and I rolled right over it. That way the soil was as soft as it could be, because this soil is extremely hard, extremely rocky here in the Ozarks, and it worked. I could imagine if you guys are in somewhere more of the plain states or anywhere that's got a whole lot better soil conditions, you could do this a whole lot easier, maybe even without having to wait for a big rain to make your soil soft. So just to show you that this method worked, I mean, you got sunflowers, we have the cowpeas, and there's some soybean right there. So we've got a little bit of everything growing up just like it's supposed to, and it looks great. So I've sprayed the soybeans with the glyphosate, and now it's time to go hit the clover. This is Clethodum. I guess it's close enough. If I mispronounced it, you guys can correct me in the videos like you guys always do. And it's 2E. So read the directions on how to mix it. We've got a 5 or 4 gallon sprayer there, so I want to read up on how many ounces to put in, and then we'll mix it, and then we will spray the clover plot. Well, I've got all the food plots sprayed, and I think I feel ticks biting me since I didn't spray down before I started. One last thing to do is this utilization cage. I like to put them up in a majority of my food plots. It's super easy to do. Get some fence and just put it together. This one's got about a 2 to 2.5 foot diameter here. Make sure the holes are small enough that you aren't going to get too many rabbits and stuff through there, because sometimes even though you keep the deer out, the rabbits will go in there and browse on it. This gives you a good comparison of what your food plot would look like compared to the deer browse. So we're going to go ahead and put this up, and then we'll be able, throughout the year and throughout the deer season, be able to see the deer pressure on this food plot. At least it's cooling down a little bit, but got clover plot sprayed, soybean plot sprayed, utilization cages up. We got to put another one on this side so we can compare kind of where the deer are coming from. And that's going to wrap up this week's vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It might be short, it might be sweet, I don't know. I haven't quite edited it all up yet. If you guys like our THG merchandise like I'm wearing here, I've got a THG hat, please go down the link below. It's got our merchandise link there. You guys can shop. And we love seeing you guys in our THG gear. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Comment down below what you enjoyed about this episode, what other kind of videos you want to see. And guys, until next time, have a better than average day. Won't you